You are now watching Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
I shot him 6 times! What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to
I shot him 6 times!
YouTube Horror Movie Channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. If you have not done so already, please shoot this video a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. As well as if you're a new viewer to this channel, please shoot that subscribe button as well as that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. Okay everyone, so before I get into detail in this video, I have to pay respect to Radio Silence for trying to sell us all on something that most of us believe not to be true anyway, but they attempted to sell it in a very sly and clever way. Something we all heard as clear as day in the film, but something we all, including myself, most likely wouldn't have caught until you go back and Scream 1996 and really hone in on a certain piece of dialogue from a certain someone. What am I talking about, you may ask? I'm talking about the fact that Radio Silence tried to sell us all on the fact that Quinn Bailey is the one who called and attacked Gale Weathers as well as killed her boyfriend Brooks in Scream 6. But the way they attempted to do so is in a piece of dialogue when Ghostface, or Quinn as they want us to believe, is talking to Gale on the phone. However, when you go back in Scream 1996 and listen to a piece of dialogue from Stu Macher, the argument can be made once again that this is Stu Macher on the phone talking to Gale Weathers, not Quinn Bailey. Okay, so I'm going to play both pieces of dialogue for you all, then I'm going to chime back in and explain why I believe you could say this is another clue that points to Stu Macher being alive, to add to the other clues that point to him that I've talked about here on the channel from that Gale Weathers attack scene in Scream 6.
Sorry about your boyfriend. All those muscles didn't help much. Fully protected, yo. I am so buff. I get you covered, girl.
Okay, so I first want to touch on the fact that Radio Silence said in an interview after the film's theatrical release that the dialogue when Ghostface says to Gale all those muscles didn't help much in reference to Brooks was a dig at fans who don't believe Amber Freeman, one half of our Ghostface killers in Scream 5, because of her size, is the one that killed Dewey Riley in that film. So that they added the dialogue and the reveal as Quinn Bailey taking credit for Gale Weathers' attack scene in Scream 6 to poke at the fans as a way to try to say size doesn't matter, whoever is underneath the costume can do anything. However, after debunking the notion Quinn attacked Gale in previous videos that I've done here on the channel, I am now convinced that the dialogue that was meant to poke fun at fans is actually another clue that points to Stu Macher not only being alive, but as the one who is actually on the phone talking to Gale in that scene. The reason I believe so is because when you compare that piece of dialogue from Scream 6 and Stu Macher's dialogue in that clip from 96 that I just shared, though it's not word for word the same dialogue, it accomplishes one concrete indisputable fact, and that is whoever is talking to Gale in Scream 6 on the phone is mocking the notion that having muscles are enough to protect anyone. This is the same thing Stu Macher did in that piece of dialogue from Scream 1996. Mocked the notion that him having muscles would protect Tatum and Sidney. Though this isn't jaw-dropping proof that proves Stu Macher is alive and is the one who called Gale Weathers in that scene in Scream 6, I definitely do believe that this was not meant to be jaw-dropping, as this was meant to be subtle and actually meant to kind of be a secret clue that points to Stu Macher, which is why Radio Silence tried to go above and beyond to make it a point that not only was it Quinn Bailey in this scene attacking Gale Weathers, but that piece of dialogue that they put in there about the muscles, that was their way to kind of screen the fact that they put another Stu Macher clue in that scene, as they done multiple times in that scene. I've talked about it here on the channel. I talked about it with the Christmas reference. I talked about it with the dipshit reference. All that. You know, they definitely did try to screen some of their dialogue and try to say that it was Quinn Bailey saying it, but when you really pay attention, you can definitely make the case that it's Stu Macher, as all the clues that we have talked about here on the channel, as well as now that I've talked about here in this video, definitely proves that it would be more likely that it's Stu Macher in that scene attacking Gale Weathers, or at the very least on the phone with her, because I know a lot of us out there believe that there were 2 killers in that scene. I am starting to lean more towards that theory as well, and I'm actually going to make a video about it and what I believe, who I believe could have been the second killer if there was 2 killers in that scene. Nonetheless, at the very least, I definitely do believe that with all the clues that we got in that scene, especially in terms of the dialogue, that it definitely is becoming a lot more clear that it was not Quinn Bailey on the phone with Gale Weathers in that scene, and that it was more than likely Stu Macher, given the clues that we have gotten. But okay, everyone, that is it for this video. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on this theory. Do you believe, given the details that I provided with the audio comparison, that there is a case to be made that further proves that it is Stu Macher and not Quinn Bailey on the phone talking to Gale Weathers in that scene in Scream 6? Once again, this is
I shot him 6 times.
YouTube Horror Movie Channel. I'm your host and creator, Marcus. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. Thank you all for watching.